Simulan mong abutin ang iyong pangarap na magbibigay dangal sa iyong bukas. Ang suliranin, hindi laging nandyan, dapat mong harapin. Kami iyong kasama sa bawat takin, magkaakbay nating lulutasin. Dito sa Fernandino Teens TV, ang boses mo ay mahalaga. Dito sa Fernandino Teens TV, ikaw lagi ang bida. Ang mga aral ay ginintuang atin ng bawat guro na siyang gagabay sa iyong pagkamulat. Naway umukit ito sa iyong isipan, maging mapanuri, sundin ng wasto at nararapat. Kagandahang asal ang ipakita, ipadama ang pusong may malasakit. Dito sa Fernandino Teens TV, ang boses mo ay mahalaga. Dito sa Fernandino Teens TV, ikaw lagi ang bida. Sakali mang tayo'y subukin ng unos, ating haharapin ng walang takot. Sasamahan ka ni Fernan at Dino, ang bagong barkada mo. Dito sa Fernandino Teens TV, boses mo ay mahalaga. Dito sa Fernandino Teens TV, edukasyon mo'y sigurado na. Dito sa Fernandino Teens TV, boses mo ay mahalaga. Dito sa Fernandino Teens TV, edukasyon mo'y sigurado na.
Fernandino Teens TV.
Good morning, Fernandino Teens! Welcome to another episode of Fernandino Teens TV Season 2. How are you doing? I hope you're doing well. By the way, we, your teachers, would like to congratulate every one of you for successfully finishing your second quarter. Job well done! Before we proceed, let me remind you to continuously follow the required minimum health protocols during this COVID-19 pandemic. First, always wash or sanitize your hands. Second, wear your face mask whenever needed, especially when you need to leave your house. Third, when you sneeze or cough, cover your nose and mouth with your hanky. If you don't have one, you may do this. Then, wash and sanitize afterwards. Fourth, disinfect areas around your home or work. Fifth, always avoid crowded places. And lastly, if you are not feeling well, better stay home drink plenty of water, and take vitamins and healthy food. It's been about 2 years when the schools stopped face-to-face classes and introduced to you the new normal way of learning. This is all due to COVID-19 pandemic. COVID-19 virus is caused by severe acute respiratory syndrome coronavirus 2, or also known as SARS-CoV-2. It has been mutated to several variants including the following: Alpha, Beta, Gamma, Delta, and now the Omicron variant, which causes the surge of cases in our country. Every one of us plays an important role in this time of pandemic. Our roles are unique from one another. Let us give our high salute to our frontliners, our teachers, in providing quality education despite the non-face-to-face classes, uniformed personnel for maintaining the community peace and orders, and among others. But it is right and just to give our utmost gratitude and salute to our medical frontliners who are always willing to sacrifice their lives just to help all affected individuals to restore their health. Working together and performing our roles and individual responsibilities can give us the assurance and hope to beat this COVID-19 pandemic. On the other side, when one group or individual does not perform its own role, it may have an impact on the society as a whole and might affect the efforts of many. Currently, the best way to help our community, including your family and friends, is to get vaccinated. Like us, our other frontliners, each structure and substance in our body perform specific functions and roles. Speaking of roles, for today's Fernandino Teens TV episode, we will be discussing roles of hormones in female and male reproductive system. Here I am again, your science teacher lecturer, Sir Alvin T. De La Cruz. This topic can be found on your Science 10 learning packets, 3rd quarter, week 1, pages 1 to 6. So, bring out your SciPacks, modified assessment, paper and pen, and together, let's discover more about the topic. Are you ready? If yes, let us proceed. Our learning competency for today is to explain the role of hormones involved in female and male reproductive systems. At the end of the episode, you are expected to meet our lesson objectives. Number 1, identify some endocrine glands and their hormones together with their uses in the human body. Number 2, determine which glands and hormones play a vital role in male and female reproductive system. And number 3, appreciate the importance of hormones and balance mechanism in our body. As a preliminary activity and to see if you can still recall some of the science concepts that you had learned from your lower grade levels, let's do this activity entitled Which is Which. In this activity, I will be showing you a word pool that consists of hormones and secondary sex characteristics. If you recall, secondary sex characteristics are any physical characteristics developing at puberty which can distinguish between the sexes, but it is not directly involved in reproduction. Since they are different to both sexes, what you need to do is to categorize them where they belong, to male or to female. You may write your answer on the comment box below or on your sheet of paper. Give me a like in this episode or thumbs up for us to start. Great! Here are the words in the word pool: estrogen, beard, pubic hair, testosterone, enlargement of the breast, widening of hips, progesterone, deepening of voice, and chest hair. You have 30 seconds to do this activity and your time starts now. Here are the answers for this activity. Estrogen, progesterone, enlargement of the breast, pubic hair, and widening of hips fall under female, while testosterone, beard, deepening of voice, and chest hair as well as pubic hair fall under male. Did you answer the activity correctly? If yes, you did a great job. Now, based on the activity, which of the following words are associated with the changes that occur in the human body? Great! These are enlargement of the breast and widening of hips for females, deepening of voice and having a beard and chest hair for males, and pubic hair for both are some of these. But what causes these changes in our body? To give you a hint, it is the general term we used before for estrogen, progesterone, and testosterone. Good job! The answer is hormones. According to Britannica Dictionary, hormones are organic substances secreted by the body that functions in the regulation of physiological activities and in maintaining homeostasis. Hormones carry out their functions by inducing responses from specific organs or tissues that are adapted to react to minute quantities of them. These hormones enter our circulatory system to reach specific organs or tissues. Remember that in grade 9, you have understood how the system works in transporting gases, nutrients, and other chemicals to different parts of the body. In simple words, hormones are the chemical messengers of the body secreted by glands of the endocrine system. They carry information from one cell to another or vice versa and regulates and balance our body. As we go along with our discussion, you may encounter the word homeostasis. This word came from the Greek word meaning stay and the same or staying the same. This refers to any process that living organisms or living things use to actively maintain fairly stable conditions necessary for survival. This word was coined in 1930 by Walter Cannon. Fernandino teens, try to identify some endocrine glands and the hormones they produce. How do these hormones affect our body? We will have a short activity regarding this topic to refresh your knowledge when Fernandino Teens TV Season 2 returns. Stay tuned!
Ang Schools Division Office City of San Fernando, Pampanga ay kaisa ng Department of Education sa pagsasagawa ng mga proyekto at programa na tumutugon sa mga pangangailangan ng mga mag-aaral. Inilunsad ang Division Call Center for Tutors and Guidance Counselors upang magbigay ng educational at psychological assistance sa mga mag-aaral, magulang at stakeholders ng Division. Kaya, kung may nais kayong itanong tungkol sa pag-aaral, maaaring magpadala ng mensahe sa Division Call Center for Tutors and Guidance Counselors Facebook page o tumawag sa mga numero na makikita sa ibaba ng inyong screen tuwing Lunes hanggang Biyernes sa ganap na alas 8 ng umaga hanggang alas 6 ng gabi. Maaari rin kayong sumangguni sa ating guidance counselors na nagbibigay ng guidance and counseling services. Lahat ng inyong ibabahagi ay mananatiling confidential. Ang nasabing programa ay nagsisilbing daan upang malaman ang feedbacks ng stakeholders para matulungan ang ating divisyon na mapagbuti pa ang mga sumusunod na programa. Ano pang hinihintay ninyo? Tumawag na sa aming mga numero o bumisita na sa aming Facebook page at magpadala ng inyong mga katanungan.
Fernandino Teens TV.
Welcome back to Fernandino Teens TV Season 2 Science episode. A while ago, I've introduced to you some physical changes that happen in male and a female body. Also, we had a short introduction about hormones and homeostasis. In addition to endocrine glands, these are called ductless glands because they do not have ducts to carry their product to a surface. The word endocrine is derived from the Greek word endo, meaning within, and crine, meaning to separate or secrete. These are organs that make hormones that are released directly into blood and travel to tissues and organs all over the body. Endocrine glands help control many body functions, including growth and development, metabolism, and fertility. This time, let us identify some endocrine glands, their hormones, and their uses in our body. Are you ready, Fernandino teens? Very good. We will do the activity entitled Who is in Control? This activity is found on your Science 10 SciPacs, Week 1, page 4. In this activity, you will see some illustrations or pictures for each scenario. Study each picture that depicts the involvement of particular gland in the endocrine system. Identify the name of the endocrine gland and explain its effect according to its function. The different glands are found on the box below for your reference. I assume that you Fernandino teens are holding your SciPacs and have read our lesson during the break. So, to answer the activity, you have 10 seconds for each item to type in your answer in the comment section or write your answer on your answer sheet. Let us start. First picture. What does this picture illustrate? Good. A sick person. Which endocrine gland is involved? Great job! The thymus gland. How does this gland work in this scenario? Great! This gland enables the body to produce disease-fighting T cells. T cells are part of the immune system and develop from stem cells in the bone marrow. These T cells help protect the body from infection and may help fight cancers, also called the T lymphocytes or thymocytes. The thymus gland produces or secretes the hormone thymosin, which helps to train and develop T lymphocytes during fetal development and childhood. The T lymphocytes produced in the thymus go on to protect the body from pathogens throughout a person's life. Could you imagine a person born without a thymus gland? Yes, it really happens. It is a rare disorder called complete DiGeorge syndrome. Children with this disorder are profoundly deficient in T cells and extremely susceptible to infections according to NORD, or National Organization for Rare Disorders USA. Without treatment, the disorder is usually fatal by 2 or 3 years of age. Next picture, a boy running away from danger. Which gland is involved? Very good, it's adrenal gland. And what hormones are produced in this gland? Good, it produces adrenaline. They are located on top of both kidneys. Adrenal glands specifically prepare the body for action, control the heart rate and breathing in times of emergency. The inner part of this gland or adrenal medulla produces two types of hormones, adrenaline and noradrenaline. Adrenaline, also known as epinephrine, rapidly responds to stress by increasing your heart rate and rushing blood to the muscles and brain. It also spikes your blood sugar level. On the other hand, noradrenaline, also known as norepinephrine, works with adrenaline in responding to stress, causing narrowing of blood vessels resulting in high blood pressure. In addition, the feeling of being extremely nervous before and during a roller coaster ride or doing adventurous activities is due to adrenaline rush. Bodily changes that occurs as adrenaline circulates throughout the blood are commonly called an adrenaline rush. Because these changes happen rapidly, you might not even fully process what is happening. The rush of adrenaline is what gives you the ability to dodge out of the way of an oncoming car before you have the chance to even think about it. Third picture. What is the boy doing? Great. He's measuring his height. Can you tell me what particular gland in the body is responsible for increasing your height? Great job! It is the pituitary gland. Which specific hormone produced by the pituitary gland is responsible for growth? Amazing! It is the human growth hormone. The human growth hormone, or HGH, affects many target cells throughout the body by stimulating their growth, repair, and reproduction. Growth hormone is particularly secreted by the anterior pituitary gland. Did you know that gigantism and acromegaly are physical abnormalities brought about excessive production of growth hormone? Pituitary dwarfism, on the other hand, results from insufficient amount of growth hormone in the body. This condition made Sultan Qasim the world's tallest living person and Chandra Dangi as the shortest in 2015. The pituitary gland, though only as tiny as kidney bean, is considered as the master gland, since it controls the activity of most other hormone-secreting glands. This gland has two main sections, the posterior or back lobe and the anterior or the front lobe. Aside from growth hormone, the following hormones are being secreted by the anterior pituitary gland. Adrenocorticotropic hormone, or ACTH. This hormone stimulates the adrenal cortex, the outer part of the adrenal gland, to produce its hormones. Next, follicle stimulating hormone, or FSH, responsible for stimulating the follicle cells of the gonads to produce gametes or ova in females and sperm in males. Luteinizing hormones, or LH, this stimulates the gonads to produce the sex hormones, estrogen in females and testosterone in males. Lastly, prolactin, or PRL, has many effects on the body, which primarily stimulates the mammary glands of the breast to produce milk. On the other hand, the posterior part of the gland secretes the following hormones. Oxytocin. These hormones trigger uterine contractions during childbirth and release the milk during breastfeeding. And lastly, antidiuretic hormone, or ADH, prevents water loss in the body by increasing the reuptake of water in the kidneys and reducing blood flow to sweat glands. Let's move on to the next picture. A little girl eating sweets. Which gland is involved in this illustration? Great work! It is the pancreas, or lapay in Filipino, an organ responsible for secreting hormones which regulate blood sugar level. Can you identify two hormones responsible for this function? What are those? Very good. Insulin and glucagon. Insulin works when we consume too much sweets. It lowers blood sugar level, while glucagon is released when blood sugar level is low. In short, these two hormones balance our sugar level. When the pancreas does not secrete enough insulin to lower sugar level, this will result in hyperglycemia. Hyper means high, glyce means sugar or glucose, and mia means blood or high blood glucose or sugar level. In worst cases, it will result in condition known as diabetes mellitus. In some cases, individuals who do not secrete enough insulin in their body need to take insulin orally or via injection. This is also the reason why you need to do correct fasting before having your blood chemistry. On the other side, hypoglycemia is a condition in which blood sugar level or glucose level is lower than normal. Hypo means low, glyce means glucose or sugar, and mia means blood or low blood sugar or glucose level. Some risk factors of having this hypoglycemia are weakness, lightheadedness, and dizziness. Always remember that glucose is your body's main energy source. To prevent any health issues related to this, it is always right to maintain proper diet and always consult your doctor. Second to the last picture, a pregnant woman. Which gland or organ is responsible for this? Good job! It is the ovaries. Generally, ovaries control the expression of secondary female sexual characteristics and reproductive system. Ovaries secrete two hormones. Can you name those two? You are amazing! They are estrogen and progesterone. Estrogen is a hormone responsible in the development of female sex characteristics, while progesterone helps prepare the uterus for embryo implantation or pregnancy. Later on, we will have a detailed discussion of their roles. And for the last picture, a man with a beard. What organ or gland is associated with this? Great! It is the testes or testicles, which control the expression of secondary male sexual characteristics. What hormone is being secreted by the testes? Good job! The main hormone secreted by the testes is testosterone. Testosterone is an androgenic hormone. Furthermore, testosterone has effect on many parts of the body, including the muscles, bones, sex organs, and hair follicles. This hormone causes growth and increase in strength of bones and muscles, including the accelerated growth of long bones during adolescence. During puberty, testosterone controls the growth and development of sex organs and body hair of males, including pubic, chest, and facial hair. In men who have inherited genes for baldness, testosterone triggers the onset of androgenic alopecia, commonly known as male pattern baldness. Ever wonder why testes and ovaries are considered glands, though they are part of the male and female reproductive systems? This is because they secrete or release hormones, and that is the reason why they became part of the gland system or the endocrine system of the human body. As we mentioned, testes and ovaries are part of the male reproductive system and female reproductive system. We will discuss more about the roles of hormones in male and female reproductive system. Before that, let us have a short break as Fernandino Teens TV Season 2 returns.
Maya po oras kaya kayo, Fernandinos. Ako pala ay Alvin ng City Tourism Office ng Siyudad San Fernando. Ngayong bulan na ini, pagmasusyan tayo ang National Heritage Month na ating temang Victory and Humanity, Upholding Filipino Heritage and Identity. Kambena nini, metong karang aktibidades na ng syudad, apin ng launching ng bayong Heritage Passport. Yung Heritage Passport, apin ng metong karing proyekto ng kaya katamong syudad, yung pamanamuna ng Mayor Edwin D. Santiago. Anong nuka rin makalagelangan ding eganagan ng heritage sites, heritage structures, naakit tamo kin kay katamong heritage district. Makakayado din kini, ding importansya da ding mapil na tradisyon, kay ni syudad, kalupa na ning pamangawang parol, ang po yung pamangalesa. May aw siyang heritage passport, uling atin kang dapat gawan, anong nukaran puntalan mo lading at yung passport, at saka ka mag-selfie. Kay ba't kanta, palto making tourism office, at mamiyalang sticker ka rin eganagan ng apuntulan mong lugar. At timong may ngari ang tutong passport. Balo mi ngeni, panahon na ini, etamo makain bisa lumal, uli na ng COVID-19 pandemic. Kaya naman kimbanwa ngayon agkatan ko lading bikers tamo, edad 18 hanggang 50, imbis na lumaot kayo po, di na nyo lang dita ka oras, di kaya katamong heritage structures, kaya ni syudad. Anya naman karing mumu ng 50 bikers ang makayari kaya katamong heritage passport, midinan lang premium only San Fernando loot bag. Inggawan nyo mo bakit ta makapag-register, punta kayo mismo opisina na ng City Tourism, king munisipyo, at saka kayo magdalang metong valid ID. Kabiyanin kaya kayong heritage passport, ating makasipit ang instruction nung nano pa ing dapat gawan. Anya naman ka rin hanggang kapadyakin, nanano ko pa, tara na!
Fernandino Teens TV.
Welcome back, Fernandino Teens. You are still watching Fernandino Teens TV Season 2. Previously, we discussed the different glands and their hormones as well as their function in the human body. To make a short recap, can you identify which gland is involved in the secretion of the following hormones? Are you ready? Great! Number 1, insulin. If your answer is pancreas, you get it right. Number 2, luteinizing hormone or LH. If you answered pituitary gland, you are correct. Number 3, growth hormone. Is pituitary gland your answer? Great job! Number 4, testosterone. Did you answer testes? Very good. And finally, progesterone. Excellent! It is secreted by ovaries. Did you get all the correct answers, Fernandino Teens? Then, you did an amazing job. A while ago, I've mentioned that we will be discussing more on the roles of hormones, particularly in male and female reproductive system. Hormones affect various processes in the body as they regulate and balance the functioning of organs, tissues, and cells. These organic substances have significant impact on your growth, appearance, emotion, and reproductive functions. They also play a key role in both male and female reproductive systems. Specifically, the pituitary gland controls the functions of both the testes and ovaries. They work together to optimize bodily processes in reproductive system, thus maintaining homeostasis. Let us have a detailed discussion of these roles. The role of hormone in male reproductive system. The male reproductive system also has prostate glands. Chemicals from these glands nourish the sperm cells and help them mature. The production of sperm cells and the release of semen can be regulated by hormones or special chemicals that comes from the testes, the brain, and the pituitary gland. These hormones keep the reproductive system properly functioning. Testosterone is the hormone responsible for the development of male sexual characteristics such as enlargement of the larynx or Adam's apple, deepening of voice, broadening of shoulders, facial hairs, and pubic hairs. Testosterone affects so many parts of the body, including the muscles, bones, sex organs, and hair follicles. This hormone causes growth and increase in strength of bones and muscles. In addition, to learn more about the roles of these hormones in the male reproductive system, let us watch the video explaining this diagram.
Hello learners, I am Sir Alvin Dela Cruz, your science teacher for today. For today, we will be discussing the roles of hormones in male reproductive system. As mentioned before, hypothalamus, which is part of the human brain, releases different types of hormones. And one of these is the gonadotrophin releasing hormones or GnRH. The GnRH will signal the pituitary gland, our master gland, to produce two types of hormones. These are the follicle-stimulating hormone or FSH and luteinizing hormone or LH. These two hormones will proceed to their target organ, which is the testes, a part of the male reproductive system. The follicle-stimulating hormone, or FSH from the pituitary gland, will proceed to its target cells on the testes, which are the Leydig cells. On the other hand, the luteinizing hormone as well will proceed to its target cells on the testes, which are the Sertoli cells. The follicle-stimulating hormone will signal the Leydig cell to produce testosterone. This testosterone is the hormone responsible for the development of secondary sexual characteristics of males. While luteinizing hormones will stimulate the spermatogenesis in the Sertoli cell. Also, Sertoli cell, once receive the luteinizing hormone, will produce inhibin, an inhibiting hormone. When testosterone is already produced, this hormone will go back to the hypothalamus and pituitary gland. This is to inhibit the production of GnRH and inhibits the production of LH in the pituitary gland. Also, when the inhibin is produced by the Sertoli cells, it will go back to the hypothalamus and pituitary gland. This is to inhibit the production of GnRH and inhibit the production of follicle-stimulating hormone. And then, the process will begin again.
Based on the video you watch, what are the key concepts you have additionally learned? Great! To make a recap about these key concepts, here is the short summary of the video. GnRH, or the gonadotropin releasing hormone, is secreted by the hypothalamus going to the pituitary gland to produce LH, or luteinizing hormone, and FSH, or follicle stimulating hormone. Next, the LH will proceed to its target cell on the testes, which are the Leydig cells, to signal them to produce testosterone, which is a hormone responsible for male secondary sex characteristics. On the other side, FSH will also proceed to its target cell on the testes, which are the Sertoli cells, to stimulate spermatogenesis, or the production of sperm from primordial germ cells, also to produce inhibin. Lastly, testosterone and inhibin will signal the hypothalamus and pituitary gland to regulate or to stop the production of LH and FSH. This is an example of negative feedback mechanism. That's how the hormones work in male reproductive system. Let us proceed to the next video.
Regulation of reproductive hormone secretion in females. The female reproductive system is also regulated by hormones. The GnRH from hypothalamus stimulates the pituitary gland to release the hormones FSH and LH into the ovaries. The luteinizing hormones and follicle-stimulating hormones stimulates the ovaries to produce estrogen and progesterone. Estrogen is the reproductive hormone in females that assists in endometrial regrowth, ovulation, and calcium absorption. It is also responsible for the secondary sexual characteristics of females. These include breast development, flaring of the hips, and a shorter period necessary for bone maturation. Progesterone are released from developing follicles. It also assists in endometrial regrowth and stops or inhibits the release of FSH and LH. In addition, follicle-stimulating hormone stimulates development of egg cells called ova, which develop in structures called follicles. Follicle cells produce the hormone inhibin, which inhibits or stops the releasing of follicle-stimulating hormones. This gives negative feedback in the female reproductive system.
Based on the short video you watched, what are the key concepts you have learned? Great job! Here are some of the key concepts discussed in the previous video. 1. The female reproductive system, just like the male reproductive system, is also regulated by hormones. 2. The follicle produces hormones that controls the growth and release of eggs from the ovaries, while other hormones prepare the uterus so a baby can grow in it. Other hormones still control the stretching of the uterus during pregnancy. Number 3. Estrogen is responsible for the development of female secondary sex characteristics such as widening of hips, enlargement of the breast, and menstrual period. It initiates the thickening of the uterine lining. 4. Progesterone assists the estrogen in preparing the uterus for embryo implantation or pregnancy. Did you enjoy the lesson? Great! Always remember that both boys and girls go through certain stages of development when developing secondary sex characteristics. The following changes happens during puberty stage, and this is mainly due to the sex hormones present in the body. For female, enlargement of the breast, widening of hips, and menstrual period happens. On the other hand, broadening of shoulders follows enlargement, hair under the arms, face, and voice change happens in males. When Fernandino Teens TV return, we will have a short quiz to see if you are able to catch up with the lesson. So be ready with your paper and pen. All of this when Fernandino Teens TV return. Stay tuned!
Hindi lamang sa larangan ng pangkabuhayan apektado ang maraming pamilyang Pilipino, kundi maging sa larangan ng pagkatuto ng bawat batang Pilipino. Inilunsad ng siyudad ng San Fernando ang programang Nurturing Environment and System for Thriving or NEST, isang education community pantry na naglalayon para sa isang malawakang pagtulong, paglantabay at paggabay na ang focus ay ang makapagbigay ng tulong at suporta sa ating mga mag-aaral sa pamamagitan ng pagbibigay ng educational needs gaya na lamang ng school supplies, tutorial sessions, study tips, at iba pang mga pamamaraan na mas lalong makatutulong sa pag-angat ng ating edukasyon. Dahil hindi hadlang ang pandemya sa magandang kinabukasang naghihintay sa ating mga mag-aaral. Sino-sino nga ba ang mga kalahok sa programang ito? Sa pagtutulungan ng ating school administrators, guro, magulang, at iba pang mga miyembro ng ating komunidad gaya ng barangay officials at sangguniang kabataan ay siguradong magiging mas matagumpay ang programang ito. Paano nga ba ang magiging proseso ng naturang programa? Una, magkakaroon tayo ng isang Facebook group, ang Pampanga High School Nest Education Community Pantry na pangungunahan ng Educational Pantry Coordinator. Ang mga magulang, tagapangalaga at mga guro ay ia-add ng ating Educational Pantry members sa Facebook group na ito. Sa page na ito maaaring i-post ng mga magulang at tagapangalaga o sino mang miyembro ng Educational Pantry ang kanilang mga kahilingan o requests. Kailangan ding ilagay ang pangalan ng mag-aaral, grade at section para sa mas agarang aksyon. Oo nga pala, hindi lang requests ang pwedeng i-post. Pwede ring mag-post ang mga nais magbigay ng tulong o mga gustong mag-donate. Sabi nga nila, sharing is caring. Tandaan na ang Facebook group na ito ay pribado at posts na may kaugnayan lamang sa page na ito ang maaaprobahan. Mayroon din palang Google Form na ipamamahagi kung saan maaari nating isumite ang ating requests o kahilingan. Paano naman ang mga walang internet access sa bahay? Huwag mangamba dahil merong mga nakalaang drop boxes ang ating paaralan na kung saan maaaring ihulog ng mga magulang at tagapangalaga ang kanilang requests. Sa mga nais namang mag-donate ng school supplies, maaaring ilagay ang mga ito sa tabi ng drop boxes. Maaari ring mag-donate ng mga kagamitan o cash donation kaakibat ang pagsusumite ng deed of donation form. Pangalawa, mahalaga ang ugnayan ng mga guro at ng mga magulang o tagapangalaga sa programang ito. Gamit ang video calls o chats ay ipahahayag ng mga guro ang adhikain ng programang ito sa mga magulang o tagapangalaga. Maaari ring gawin ang orientation na ito ng face-to-face kasabay ng schedule ng kuhanan ng mga module. Gaya ng nabanggit, hindi lamang mga bagay ang maaaring i-donate. Pwede ring mag-conduct ng tutorial session, study tips, at iba pang mga kagamitan sa pagkatuto gaya ng mga aklat o kaya ay gadgets. Ikatlo, ang requested needs ng ating mga magulang o tagapangalaga ay ililista ng ating NEST focal person. Ang mga coordinator naman ang mag-aayos ng mga ito. Ang advisors ng ating mga mag-aaral, guidance counselor, at iba pang mga guro ay ipaaalam sa ating mga magulang at tagapangalaga ang petsa at oras ng pamimigay ng requested needs na gaganapin sa paaralan. Sabi nga nila, it takes a village to raise a child. Kaya naman aktibo at iba yung pakikilahok ang inaasahan sa pagsasanib puwersa ng paaralan at barangay na siyang tutukoy sa pangangailangan ng bawat Fernandinong mag-aaral at kikilos upang matugunan ito sa tulong at suporta rin ng mga miyembro ng komunidad. Isang malawakang komunidad para sa isang produktibong educational community pantry ay tiyak na lilikha ng iba yung pagkilos upang maging mas magaan at madali ang pagkatuto ng bawat kabataang Fernandino. Kaya naman tandaan, magbigay ayon sa kakayahan, kumuha ayon sa pangangailangan.
Fernandino Teens TV.
You are still watching Fernandino Teens TV Season 2. Before we proceed to the short quiz, let us have a recap. Here are some of the important concepts in our today's lesson. Hormones play an important role in both male and female reproductive systems. The pituitary gland controls the functions of both testes and ovaries. Testosterone is the hormone responsible for the development of male sexual characteristics. Progesterone assists the estrogen in preparing uterus for embryo implantation. Estrogen is responsible for the development of female secondary characteristics. It initiates the thickening of the uterus lining. Male secondary characteristics: enlargement of larynx or Adam's apple, deepening of voice, broadening of shoulders, facial hairs, and pubic hair. Female secondary characteristics are widening of hips, enlargement of the breast, and menstrual period. I believe that you Fernandino teens are now ready to take the quiz. So, let us start. Number 1. Gonadotrophin-releasing hormones are released by the hypothalamus going to the pituitary gland to facilitate the production of luteinizing hormone or LH and follicle-stimulating hormone or FSH. Is it true or false? If your answer is true, you are correct. Number 2. Which of the following hormones is responsible for the spermatogenesis or the production of sperm from the primordial germ cells in the testes? A. Luteinizing hormones. B. Follicle-stimulating hormones or FSH. C. Estrogen. Or D. Progesterone. Did you answer letter B, follicle-stimulating hormone? If yes, you got the correct answer. FSH plays a vital role in sexual development and functioning for both male and female. In female, FSH helps control the menstrual cycle and stimulates the growth of eggs in the ovaries. And for males, it stimulates the spermatogenesis or the production of sperm cells. Number 3. Which of the following hormones is present in female, not in male? A. Progesterone. B. Testosterone. C. Inhibin. D. Luteinizing hormone or LH. If your answer is A, progesterone, you get it right. Testosterone is only present in male, while inhibin and luteinizing hormones are present in both male and female. Therefore, the correct answer is progesterone, which is present in female. It assists the estrogen in preparing the uterus for embryo implantation or what we call pregnancy. Number 4. Which of the following changes or processes does not belong to the group? A. Widening of hips. B. Menstruation. C. Ovulation. Letter D. Phallus enlargement. Is your answer letter D, phallus enlargement? Then you are correct. Widening of hips, menstruation, and ovulation happens in females. On the other hand, obviously, phallus enlargement happens in males. And lastly, number 5, which of the following hormones is responsible for the development of the secondary sex characteristics of a female? A. Testosterone. B. Progesterone. C. Estrogen. And letter D. Insulin. If your answer is estrogen, your answer is correct. Testosterone is a male hormone, and insulin is a hormone secreted or released by the pancreas, which role is to lower blood sugar level. Though progesterone is released by the ovaries, its role is to support pregnancy, while estrogen is the hormone responsible for the development of female secondary sexual characteristics. Did you get all the correct answers, Fernandina teens? If yes, you are amazing. I hope you were able to learn something today. Before we end this episode, let me mention this short statement from Yunda Bird. A true community is not just about being geographically close to someone or part of the same social web network. It's about feeling connected and responsible for what happens. Humanity is our ultimate community, and everyone plays a crucial role. Here are the references used in this episode. Again, this is Sir Alvin de la Cruz saying it's always fun to learn. Till the next episode here at Fernandino Teens TV Season 2.
Bagong umaga, yakapin mo ang bagong pag-asa. Simulan mong abutin ang iyong pangarap na magbibigay dangal sa iyong bukas. Ang suliranin, hindi laging nandyan, dapat mong harapin. Kami iyong kasama sa bawat takin, magkaakbay nating lulutasin. Dito sa Fernandino Teens TV, ang boses mo sa iyong pagkamulat, naway umukit ito sa iyong isipan. Maging mapanuri